The Mandalorian. Are you kidding me? Let's talk about it. All right, my name is Jeff. This channel is Dole Whip Dad. I am glad you are here. We talk about a lot of things here. Disney things, sometimes that includes Star Wars things. Oh my goodness. If you are like me, you have been glued to YouTube this weekend because YouTube is posting all the things that are going on at the Star Wars convention in Chicago. I don't even understand how to explain how awesome it is. So, The Mandalorian will be on Disney Plus. That alone, 8 episodes, that alone is worth the monthly price, if you ask me. So Pedro Pascal, where do you know him? You know him from Game of Thrones. He's dead. Gina Carano, where do you know her? You know her from the UFC. She's most assuredly not dead. I love Gina Carano. Giancarlo Esposito, where do you know him? He lost half of his face to Walter White in Breaking Bad. Nick Nolte, where do you know him? He's got the bad hair in the arrest photo. So look it. They today played 3+ minutes of... Oh, Carl Weathers, where do you know him from Rocky? How did I forget him? I'm so excited about him. 3+ minutes today they played. I'm watching the stream and they say, we'll see you guys who are on the live stream in about 3.5 minutes, and they didn't show us in YouTube land. So the people in the crowd got to see it, but like those good smugglers that they are, the Mandalorian, right? Somebody posted it to YouTube. I just watched it. 3.5 minutes or so of awesomeness. It looks so good. It looks dark. It looks gritty. It's set 5 years after Return of the Jedi. That's awesome. When they came back for the live stream, the crowd was going nuts. It was a standing ovation. It was very moving, but yes, I just watched it. There's Jawas everywhere. I mean, what can I tell you? If you like the first 3 movies, and who doesn't, this is back then. I mean, it's set 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So what's the story? So Jon Favreau talked about that. And why do you know him? Lion King, you know him. Jungle Book, so many other things. He talked about his fascination with the time period. So after, and this is true historically, he said this, after there's a great battle, there's a winner, there's always this chaos. And so what would the people do? And so he talked about wanting to dive into that, not unlike Reconstruction after the Civil War. Sorry to get nerdy on you. And so what happens? Well, the Mandalorian gets hired by the Carl Weathers character. Carl Weathers needs somebody to go do a job. The Mandalorian takes the job. He's a smuggler and he's taking something from point A to point B, and this is the story. The Razor Crest is the name of the spaceship. Oh my goodness, it looks awesome. Jon Favreau said this. He said he had written 4 of the 8 episodes. We have 8 episodes that we're going to be getting. 4 of the 8 episodes he had them written before he got the pitch green-lighted. And he did that on purpose because he didn't want somebody else to say yes and then change his story, which I thought was brilliant. So again, he wrote 4 of the 8 episodes before the project was even greenlit. He'd been wanting to do this for years. Dave Filoni, who, if you're a Star Wars nut, you know who that is. He's the guy he's just spectacular. He's the Clone Wars and all that, the animated series. Brilliant guy. He's been involved with the stories of Star Wars for years. He and Jon Favreau together, that's a pretty darn good team. And they were a joy to watch banter back and forth. Talked about George Lucas coming to the set, a little bit of in the trailer that I wasn't supposed to see. Saw a little bit of Mr. Lucas there. You know what I really enjoyed? They talked about a book that I love, The Power of Myth by Joseph Campbell, and how it was one of the main impetuses of George Lucas and his viewpoint of the world and storytelling. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Joseph Campbell's The Power of Myth is definitely worth checking out. So much awesomeness, you know, and I'm going to go back to some of the characters. So Carl Weathers, sorry Sly, but he made Rocky, if you ask me. I'm talking about the original, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, but I loved Carl Weathers. I did. And you know, he just fits. He fits into this world for me. It's like he should have already been part of it. I heard somebody else say that, and I'm going to steal that. He's so good. I'm so happy he's there, and he's in a large role. Gina Carano kicks, a word that I'm not going to use. Oh my goodness, she's awesome. She's beautiful. She's talented. She's amazing. They talked about how you couldn't get, the most bored person on set was her stunt woman, which I love. She's just bad. You know what? I love her. Giancarlo Esposito, I already mentioned, probably one of the great bad guys of all time in TV. He's going to be on there. Nick Nolte's on there. And just, that's a lot of greatness. But Pedro Pascal, who, if you like Game of Thrones, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not a Game of Thrones fan. I have not watched it, but clearly a great actor. I do know him from that. Just, I guess I've seen so many promos for it. Looks very fitting for the role, if you ask me. And just listening to him on the panel today talk about his eagerness to take on this role, it was very moving. Very moving. This show is going to be greatness. So what else do we know? One of the things I wanted to share from the panel, Gina Carano shared this with us, and I just think it's fascinating. When Jon Favreau was on set talking about specifics on how and why and what was going on in this scene, he actually teared up, according to Gina Carano, talking about how important this scene was, or this point was, or whatever. And it just tells me, as a Star Wars nut, that boy, this thing is in the right hands. You know, to take the lore of the first 3 movies, 4, 5, and 6, and the second 3 movies, 1, 2, and 3, and to talk about that space in between there, it's pretty awesome. But somebody could screw it up. He's not going to screw it up. I mean, I'm so excited for this story. I'm so excited for his passion for the story. Talked about, he asked, somebody asked a question of Jon Favreau, and him and Pedro both answered it. Basically, the character of the Mandalorian, Pedro was asked to draw inspiration from Clint Eastwood and a lot of the samurai and the old Western movies, and I just think it looks awesome. Are you excited? Did you watch any of the panel? Have you seen the smuggled out teaser? I am so looking forward to the show. I've said it before, I'm so looking forward to Disney Plus, but even if it was just this show, you would get at least a month's rent out of me on this. I'm so excited for The Mandalorian. I'm so excited for Disney Plus. I'm so excited for more Star Wars content. What say you? Are you excited about The Mandalorian? Let me know in the comments if you've watched any of this, if you're excited about it. Whatever you think, I'd like to know. Boy, I wish I was there. I would have liked one of those posters. I don't know what I would have done with it, but man, it was cool looking. That's it for now. Thanks for being here. Smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you watching. Go do something awesome for somebody. Have the best day ever. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.